I'm 76 years old, and I need to tell you something about love that no one else will. You think loving someone means giving everything. You think devotion means erasing yourself. You're wrong, and by the time you realize it, you might already be gone, still alive, but invisible. I loved my husband deeply, truly. I made his coffee before he woke. I organized our life so smoothly he never had to think about doctor's appointments, birthday cards, when the bills were due. I became excellent at being needed. People said I was a wonderful wife. His friends' wives envied how well I took care of him. My mother said I'd figured out the secret to a good marriage, and I believed that. I believed that making myself smaller made the marriage bigger. I stopped singing in the mornings because he liked quiet. I stopped painting because the smell bothered him. I stopped calling my best friend as often because he said I spent too much time on the phone. None of it felt like sacrifice. It felt like love. It felt like what you do when you build a life with someone. I told myself I was being a good partner, considerate, unselfish, the kind of woman who makes a house a home, and I was proud of that. So proud. 3 years ago, I had a stroke. Not a massive one, but enough. Enough to land me in the hospital for 8 days. Enough to make me wonder if I was going to die. And in that hospital bed, with the machines beeping and the IV cold in my arm, I started thinking about my life, really thinking, not the version I told people, the real one. I thought about the painting supplies I donated because I convinced myself I didn't have time, the choir I quit because rehearsals interfered with dinner. The trip to see my sister I canceled because he didn't want to go, and I couldn't imagine going without him. I realized something terrifying. If I died that day, no one would lose me. They would only lose what I did for them. And then I thought about something worse. I thought about how, if I died, what would they say at my funeral? That I made good coffee? That the house was always clean? That I never complained? Who was I? Not who was I to him, who was I? I couldn't answer, and that's when I felt it. Not physical pain, something deeper. The kind of pain you feel when you realize you've been living beside yourself for 43 years. Here's the lie I believed, that love means making yourself easy to love, that if you're low maintenance enough, quiet enough, accommodating enough, you'll be cherished. But you won't. You'll be comfortable. You'll be useful. You'll be appreciated the way someone appreciates a good appliance. But you won't be seen because there's nothing left to see. You erased it all yourself. I told myself I had time to get back to painting someday, time to visit my sister when things slowed down, time to figure out what I actually wanted once he retired, once the house was paid off, once things were easier, but things never got easier. I just kept moving the goalpost, and while I was waiting for someday, I was disappearing, not all at once, just a little more every year. A little more every compromise I called love. The calendar doesn't care if you're ready, and neither does your life. It doesn't wait for permission to end. My friend Margaret loved her husband too. Loved him the same way I did. Organized her whole life around him. When he died, she spent 6 months walking through her house, touching his things. His chair, his coffee mug, his reading glasses on the side table. But when I asked her what she would do now, she looked at me and said something I'll never forget. She said, "I don't know who I am without him." Not because she missed him so much, but because she'd never existed separately. She built her whole identity around being his wife. And when he was gone, she was gone too. Another friend, Carol, told me she spent 30 years cooking meals her husband liked. When I asked her what her favorite food was, she stared at me. She'd never thought about it. She'd spent so long eating what he wanted that she'd forgotten what she wanted. Margaret started painting at 71 for the first time in her life. She cried the whole time she set up the easel, not because she was sad, because she was angry that she waited, angry that she needed permission from death to do it. These aren't bad women. They're women who believe the same lie I did, that love is measured by how much of yourself you give away. I'm still married, and I still love my husband. But something changed after the stroke. I started painting again, just small things, watercolors at the kitchen table. He didn't understand why it mattered so much, but I didn't need him to understand. I needed to do it. I called my sister, told her I was coming to visit, alone. He wasn't angry. He was confused, but I went anyway. And when I got there and she hugged me, I cried, because I realized how much I'd missed her, how much I'd missed myself. You don't have to stop loving someone to start existing again, but you do have to stop pretending that love means erasure. Real love doesn't ask you to disappear, and if it does, it's not love. It's something else, something quieter, something sadder. Being loved for who you aren't is lonelier than being alone. I'm 76 now. If I'm lucky, maybe I have 10 good years left, maybe 15. I can't get back 43 years of mornings I didn't sing, canvases I didn't paint, trips I didn't take. But I can stop pretending I have time to keep waiting. You think you'll do it later. Start that project, take that trip, say what you actually think. But later doesn't come. Later is a place you never arrive. It's just a word you use to avoid living now. Your body is aging, whether you're living or not. Time doesn't pause because you're being polite. Your children will grow. Your parents will die. Your friends will move away. And one day, you'll be sitting where I am, looking back, wondering why you spent so much time being someone you thought other people needed instead of someone you actually were. And it will be too late to go back. You still think you have time. I can feel it. You're listening to this, and part of you is thinking, I'll start living when things calm down, when the kids are older, when work slows down, when he retires. But you won't, because there will always be another reason to wait, another person to take care of, another responsibility that feels more urgent than your own life. So let me tell you something I wish someone had told me 50 years ago. Your life is happening now, not later, now, and every day you spend being convenient is a day you'll never get back. Don't be polite with your own life. If this reached you, hit the like button, not because it helps the algorithm, because it's a signal that someone heard this and it mattered. Share this with your mother, your sister, your friend who's always putting everyone else first, the one who says she's fine but you know she's not, because someone needs to hear this before it's too late. Subscribe if you want to stay close to voices that tell the truth while there's still time to do something about it. And leave a comment answering this. If you died tomorrow, what would you regret not doing? This message isn't for me. I already waited too long. It's for you while you still have time.